Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn and Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of The Chef You and I, and today we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day in a really special way. So I'm really excited about the show, but we're going to start with the cake that we're making for Valentine's Day in the heart pans. So that's what we're starting with. And then we're going to actually make our wonderful little meatloaves that are in muffin pans. And we're going to have a big surprise for you because we're having Mr. Bill come on and make his famous mashed potatoes to make the icing on top of the meatloaf, little meatloaves. And then we're going to do the wonderful beef mushroom soup, and then the peach arugula salad, and then we'll have the dessert of the Valentine cake. How about that? Okay, so we're going to start off with our cake. And we're going to put 1 cup of water in, a half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. And then I'm going to beat this for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to pour it into the wonderful cake pans. But I've already put 350 degrees, the oven is on, and it's heating up, and it looks good. And here we go. And it's a red devil cake, as you can see. And so my producer's going to let me know when 2 minutes are up. And this is kind of messy, so we will clean up the mess in a minute. I was going to originally make cupcakes, but I changed my mind. All right, so what we're going to do is take these out, right? And we're going to use this, but I'm going to take these and put these in here, and I'm going to put them in the sink. And I'm going to get one of these wonderful paper towels by Bravo, and I'm going to wipe up my mess. So we like to keep things neat on the show. So unfortunately, I didn't think, but this is a red devil cake. So now what we're doing is we're going to pour these into the pans, and I actually took parchment paper and put them in the bottom so that they come out easy. Okay, so we're going to pour. The nice thing about this pan or this wonderful bowl is that it has a pouring spout on it, and so we're going to pour it in, and it just takes a little time to do that. And then in a minute, I'm going to do it on the other pan. So just want to get it all in there. And I'll wipe that up in just a second. Okay. And we'll take that, put it in the sink. And actually, we want to take that right there and get it there and take it there. Because I don't want that. And then just wipe it up, right? And I'll clean it in a second. Okay, I'm going to put these in the oven. They're actually the same size here, as you can see. I'll put these in the oven for 25 minutes, right? And I want to bring that up a little. Putting it in the oven, right? And for 25 minutes. So we're going to put the timer on for 25 minutes and see how they turn out in a second. So we want to put it for 25 minutes. There we go. All right, now the next thing I'm gonna clean this off real quick, and then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our soup really quick, and then we're gonna do our meatloaf and mashed potatoes. We need to take a short break. The next dish we're making is beefy mushroom soup. And here are some of the ingredients. We needed a medium onion that we're going to chop up. We need about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of mushrooms that are chopped up. We need about a quart of, and I'm going to make a little bit more because I like my soup to be a little bit, a lot of broth in it, okay? So we're going to use beef broth. And then I'm going to use Better Than Bouillon, which I absolutely love. It really gives it a great beefy taste. So we're going to be using that, a bay leaf, an onion, and also I went ahead and prepared it ahead of time. And these are the steak tips, and they're a lot more tender, okay, than say stew meat. So what I did was I prepared them ahead of time. It only took me 20 minutes. I boiled it, and then I chopped it all up, and that's what they're supposed to be, like little pieces. You don't want your beef soup to have huge pieces of beef in it. So here we go, and that is from, and also we have the mushrooms right here, and that's what it is. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this very easily, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, put this over here for right now, and I'm going to cut the onion, and then I'm going to use it in the wonderful chopper, and we're going to make them small because I don't like to see a lot of onion pieces in my soup. So we're just going to chop them up in there, and then we started adding all the ingredients to the pan that's behind me. And we'll put this in here, and this in here, and the rest of it, right? And then we're going to do this over here. Chop it up. That looks good. Okay, we're ready to use that. So then what we'll do is we'll take our mushrooms that are right here, and we're going to chop these up. Now, I already cleaned them. And actually, with mushrooms, you do not want to wash them. You want to wipe them off. And these are Bella mushrooms. Okay, so that's nice. And I have some of those, and I have some white, a couple white ones. They didn't have a lot in the store yesterday, so this is what I did. So they call for actually a half a cup of mushrooms. But this is going to be a little bit more because I like mushrooms. And I think you will too. Okay. So about a cup, maybe a cup and a half. It's a mushroom soup. So I'm making more than just a little bit. So we have some saved over. Okay. There we go. Right. Maybe one, maybe two of these. And that'll be it. So if you want your recipe on our show, and all you have to do is send me an email to kraaker123@aol.com, and you can also go to our website and send a message on the Chef You and I, because a lot of people want to get thinner this year, so you want to have healthy food. I think that's enough. Okay, and we're going to put those aside. We've got the onions ready, and I'm going to bring the pan over. I'm going to use this pan right here. This is a 360 pan, and I'm going to pour in the liquid first. I'm going to use basically both of them because it only takes about a half an hour to make this soup, actually. And so that's one of it. So I'm going to add a little bit of the mushrooms in here. Right. And then the onions. Oh, I almost got a cap in there. That would have been fun. So, and then we're going to add the meat into it. So you're just making it a really simple soup to make, right? And then we want to add the onions. And let's do that. So that's one medium onion, all right? So let's do this. That's why I have these wonderful gloves on, because I can do this easily and make sure we get everything in there. And I really think we need more liquid. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add more liquid to it. So I'm going to wipe my hands, or wash my hand off a minute. And then we're going to open this other one right here. And you may want to add a little bit of water to it as well, because you don't want it to be too salty, that's for sure. Okay, that looks good because it'll boil down. And then I'm going to add a bay leaf to it. I'm going to add bay leaf to it, maybe 1 or 2 at the most. And you're going to take this out before you serve it, okay? Then I'm going to add a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of this wonderful, beautiful, better than bouillon to it, okay? And what will happen is we'll have to taste it as we go. I always do that. But I love making soup, especially, you know, on a cold night or whatever. But this is just going to be like a little cup of soup, okay? All right, I'm putting the second one in. And there we go. And I may add some water to this. Okay. I'm going to take that and this over here and maybe add about 8 ounces of water to the mixture, because you know when you start boiling things it boils down. So I'm going to take this over here to the stove, and I'm going to put it here. Maybe I'll put it back. No, I'll put it here. Okay? We're going to turn this on. And remember, when you're doing anything with 360 pans, you don't want to have the highest heat on it because they actually get hot very quickly. I'm going to put a top on it and let it go. There we go. So we're going to take a short break and we're going to be right back. And what we're making next is the meatloaf and also the mashed potatoes. We'll be right back. And now we're going to make the next wonderful dish is cupcake meatloaves with mashed potato icing and parsley on the top. And this is really cool because some people don't like to eat a lot, especially when you have a show like this one. They want to have bits and pieces for Valentine days, especially since we're going to have a Valentine cake on top of it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this onion and we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other onion. We're going to put it in the chopper and we're going to let that do its thing. And we'll see what happens, okay? So that should be, I really think that's enough onion, but I'll put a little bit more in. That's it. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to put this on top and we're going to chop it. Okay, that's all we need on that. So next thing is we're going to actually add all the ingredients to the actual meatloaf, and then we're going to spray that a little bit, and we're going to put them and make little individual cupcakes. Okay, so we're going to take our ground beef, and then we're going to add a half a cup of breadcrumbs. And then we're going to add an egg, just like you're making regular meatloaf. right? But these are just going to be mini meatloaves, okay? So we're going to add this to it, right? Then I'm going to get a fork and I'm going to break that up. And this recipe calls for milk. I've never done milk in meatloaf before, but we're going to add 1/3 cup of milk. So I'm going to get that out. And I have 1/3 cup right here. See? Makes it easy. That's 1/3 cup. Add that to there. Because I think, because you've got the breadcrumbs, you want to make it moist, right? So, but I usually add ketchup into mine. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put the milk away. I'll put the milk away. All right, back making this, right? So you want to mix it up like I'm doing, right? And then you want to add your salt, which is a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and believe it or not, I'm going to add a little bit of ketchup to mine. So I like ketchup. It makes my meatloaf taste great. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ketchup. And then we're going to add our wonderful onions to it. Okay, so now we're going to add the onions to it. And then we'll make the mini meatloaves. But I'm going to use some wonderful duck fat spray. Oh, I forgot to add the Worcestershire sauce, right? Worcestershire sauce, which is a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. All right, so you now add all of this together. And it's a little bit drier than you would normally have it, but you can't make these, in a sense, you can't make them wrong. I'm going to use my hands because I have gloves on, and I'm going to add the rest of the ketchup to this. Okay, so here we go. And that's how you make, and you can watch me make meatloaf. I've made it many times for my family. And my husband absolutely loves meatloaf. And I grew up on it. And so anyhow, what we're going to do is now we're going to move this over here. We're going to take all these different things over. We're going to take a little short break and we'll be right back. We're back, and I'm actually putting the meatloaf, right, into the cupcake holders. I'm using cupcake holders. All right, if you put it here, well, actually, too much, right? That'll be fine. Then I'll use another one because they're smaller, because we were going to do muffin pans, but those were pretty big, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, right? I think we're going to get all of them, which is good, right? There we go. Push that down a little. So actually, this is 24. Isn't it? 3, 6, 9, no, 12. I'm sorry, I thought I had my bigger one. I didn't. That's all right. We all make mistakes in life, right? Mr. Bill? Yes. So now what they're going to do is they're going to cook in here, right? And they'll look like little cupcakes. And we're going to put mashed potatoes above it, right? And there we go. Push that down. It's almost like having little meatloaf balls, right? So there we go. I think we're going to get them all in here. Okay. And it's important that you really watch them. You're not going to have them in there more than 15 to 20 minutes because, no, that's what it says. 15 to 20 minutes. You got to cook the meat. It's raw. So think about that, okay? Maybe I'll make some smaller ones. And then you can freeze these and take them out and have them for dinner. How about that? I like to do things ahead of time so that you have, like leftovers and stuff. Like when you go out to eat, you do that. And sometimes they give you so much in portion size. When I came back to the United States, when we were overseas and I came back, and I saw the portion sizes and I couldn't believe how much they gave you in some of these restaurants. They give you double or triple sometimes. Not like going to a real fancy restaurant where you only see a little tiny bit of it. I only need 2 more. There's that one. I think I might take something out of this one and add it to this, and maybe this one, and I'll have enough, okay? Right. Okay. So we have enough for this one. So that was 12 cupcakes. Wow. That's what they look like, cupcakes. But they're meatloaf cupcakes, okay? So now you want to put these into a 350-degree oven, and around 12 to 15 minutes you watch it, and then you put a thermometer in it to make sure it's done. So we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back, and Mr. Bill is going to be making mashed potatoes. His famous, wonderful, awesome mashed potatoes that are going to go on top of these like icing. We'll be right back on the Chef You and I right after these messages. We're back, and right before you put them into, and I said 350, but it's actually 375 for 20 to 25 minutes. And the other thing you need to do is you need to take one of your temperature gauges and make sure it's no more than 160 degrees Fahrenheit when you're checking it. So I check it a little bit more often. But they also want you to give it a glaze with the ketchup. So we're going to do wonderful things here, and we're going to put some glaze over each one of these. And right. All right. Pretty simple to do, right? And I always use ketchup when I'm doing my meatloaves on top because it makes it really nice and it gives it a great flavor, right, as well. So I'm almost done. And then we're going to put these in, and then we're going to have Mr. Bill do his famous mashed potatoes because they're going to be the topper of these wonderful meatloaf cupcakes. I want to make sure they get enough. That one didn't get very much there. Okay, so now we're ready to put them in the oven and cook them for 20 to 25 minutes. We'll be right back. Now this is the piece de resistance on the Chef You and I. We have Bill Raaker, who is going to make his famous mashed potatoes adapted from Chef Jean-Pierre. Chef Jean-Pierre.
My measurements may not be exactly to his, but they will taste really good.
I know. And what are we going to use it for?
The mashed potatoes are going to go on top of your cupcake meatloaves.
That's right.
Okay.
And we're going to have a side of mashed potatoes too, because
we'll have
so
enough,
delicious.
We'll have
right?
enough mashed potatoes to go with the real meatloaf. Okay.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to let you go. You can do your thing.
All right, great.
And I'll be back when you finish.
So I started with 3 pounds of white potatoes, and they kind of look yellow here, but they cooked. And we cooked them all. They're really done, and we're ready to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rice them. This little tool here, it's wonderful. And we'll just go ahead and get started with them and see how it works, okay? Now, mine won't take as many as his did on TV, but we will get through it, and you will see how these potatoes come out. So what we're going to do is rice them, and it just comes out the bottom and the side here, and you'll see that it looks really good when we get done. There's a little water in them, but as you can see, they come out really good. And we're just going to continue doing these till we get them all done. And when, actually after you cook the potatoes, now the chef cooks them with the skin on because he doesn't want the potatoes to get any water in them, and the skin keeps the potatoes from getting water. But I peel them ahead of time. Having been in the military, peeled a lot of potatoes in basic training, and it's fun to cook them ahead of time. Then I chop them up and cook them that way. And as you can see, the potatoes kind of look like, they don't look like rice, but this is called a ricer. And when we get done, we will have a lot of mashed potatoes. In fact, you could take the potatoes right when you're done with this step here, add your milk, butter, salt to taste, and they would probably be really good. Well, I know they would. They would be good. But we're going to take them to another level, which you'll see when we do that, how they come out. You can see these potatoes. Look at that. There's always a little left over on the top for some reason. And you can see we got potatoes here. And we got potatoes here. We don't want to miss any. Don't want to lose any. And we're going to have a lot of potatoes. 3 pounds of potatoes is enough for me. Probably enough for you too. But we'll get done here real quick. Be enough potatoes for me for tomorrow. And the next day. Now, if you're a meat and potatoes guy, this is the way you want to eat your potatoes. Unless you like baked potatoes. That's totally different. And when we get done with this part, you don't use a mixer. You can see we got, I'll show you in a minute, we got a lot of potatoes here. All right, so now we have potatoes. They've been through the ricer. And now we're going to put our other ingredients in before we take it to the final step. We'll take a short break. Be right back. Okay, we're back on the Chef You and I. Kathryn just took the meatloaf cupcakes out of the oven. They look pretty good. Mashed potatoes are going to go right on top of them. It's kind of like shepherd's pie from England. However, it's not exactly. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and start adding some things here. So we're going to add some butter to it. Now, the chef said 3 pounds of potatoes, 1 pound of butter. That's a lot of butter. Anyway, I put the potatoes, or I'm sorry, I put the butter in right now, this time here, and mix them up. That way, and then I put it through the sifter here. The other chef doesn't do it that way. He puts the butter in after he runs it through the sifter. You got to have plenty of butter. Okay? Then, salt. Put a little bit of salt here and there. He puts a lot of salt in his potatoes. And we'll go ahead and add the milk. Now the fun part. mix it all up, see what it comes out like. Then we'll put it through the sifter. We'll take a break here while I mix this, because this is going to take about 10 or 15 minutes. All right, we're back. All right, so now I got my milk, my butter. I put a stick and a half of butter in here along with the milk and some salt. We'll test it, see if it needs any more salt. Some people like a lot of salt, some people don't. But anyway, here's what it looks like now. As you can see, we have mashed potatoes, and they are probably good enough just as they are right now to serve, okay? We'll take them and up it a little step here, okay? This is a sifter. As you can see through it. And if you don't have one of these, a small one will do, a little harder, but it'll work the same way. What we're going to do now is take these potatoes and run them through here. And you'll see that as I put them in here, I'll use my little handy tool here, push them right through. And then eventually I'll scrape them off the bottom because they won't fall off, but I'll scrape them off into the bowl here. So let's try it and see how it works, okay? Yeah, we can start with that. Maybe just a little bit more. As you can see, they stick to your ribs. Good potatoes here. And we're going to run them through here. And we're just going to run them through. And they eventually keep sticking to everything, okay? Now let me show you what it looks like on the other side. And I'm not going to stay in here and show everyone how to do all these. I just want to let you know what it looks like going forward. So here you can see on the back side, they come through nice and smooth and silky. Okay? Look at that. Oh my goodness, are they good? When we get this all done, you will be amazed. They are absolutely delicious. But I'll continue on here and we'll get them all done. And when I come back, we'll have them in a nice pretty bowl for you, okay? All right, so we're done with making the mashed potatoes. Slightly less than 3 pounds, but a lot of mashed potatoes here. Because some of those mashed potatoes wound up in our deviled egg maker, because we're going to pipe some potatoes onto the top of the meatloaf cupcakes, okay? Then when I put the potatoes on top, Kathryn's going to come back in and put some cheese on them, and we're going to put them back in the oven a little bit so they can melt the cheese, and let's see if this works, okay? Yeah, it's working, but comes out looking like icing on a cake. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Oh, it's supposed to look like icing on a cake. Okay, I'll get a close-up after we're done here, okay? Well, that's pretty neat. But you can tell when you look at this, I'm not a cake decorator for sure. Or actually a cupcake decorator for sure. But I will get better at it as we go along, okay? Trust me. This isn't really hard to do. Actually, it's pretty neat. These are they're called meatloaf cupcakes, but they could be like meatballs. Okay, they're about the size of huge meatballs. But I don't know that you would put meatballs and have them with potatoes on top. I thought I might have to put some more potatoes in here, but I might be able to finish these off with just what I have here. I don't think... Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? Amazing. It came out almost even. And as you can see, my plunger's right up here, so I'm almost out of potatoes in my deviled egg maker. And these are now almost ready to go in the oven. Kathryn's going to put some cheese on here. So we'll be back in just a minute, and she'll put the cheese on. Then they're going to go back in the oven for just a few minutes for the cheese to melt. Then I think we put parsley on top or something, little green stuff on top. And then they're ready to eat. I can't wait. We'll be right back.
We're back now, and I get to put the cheese on top of the meatloaf cupcakes that Bill just decorated, right? And just put a little on. And we're going to heat these up, which are going to be absolutely great and not hard to do. Easy peasy. So you saw how he did it, and I always let him do the mashed potatoes because he makes the best mashed potatoes ever. Now I got to move these around a little bit. You don't want to get too much cheese on there, right? I have some here that we can put on there. And this is shredded sharp cheese, cheddar, okay? And the next thing we're going to do after this is we're putting these in the oven for a little while. I'm making a really cute, wonderful salad. It will only take a few minutes. And we're going to ice the cake real quick. And guess what? We're going to be ready to eat this wonderful, wonderful Valentine dinner for your sweetheart. You know, because some people don't like to go out to eat. They like to do it themselves. And it's awful crowded on Valentine's Day, right? So anyhow, we're almost done. We're done here. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back after we put these in the oven. And guess what? We're going to make the salad real quick and ice the cake, and we'll be done. I'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I, and we're making a spring mix peach salad with peaches, walnuts, goat cheese, and pomegranate Oreos. Are we ready? We're ready. This is really simple. All you do, this has already been pre-washed, right? So you want to take this and put this on there. You know, I always like to tear them up a little bit so you don't have to, you know, but you don't want to cut them. So, and this is going to be a really pretty salad when you're finished. Lots of colors, right? And so we add a little bit more. So anyhow, we're doing this. We're almost done. And as soon as I get I'm going to do for 3 people tonight. So, or today. And it's going to be really fun. So here we go. We're still tearing it up a little bit. And now what we're going to do is actually put the peaches on top, right? So they've already been sliced. So I used, because peaches aren't available right now, because they're not out yet. So I'm using frozen peaches that didn't have any sugar or anything on it, but so I used a sweetener, right? And I may end up adding more lettuce to this. And since originally it was called an arugula salad, and some of the people that I live with don't like arugula, so I decided to do it this way with a spring mix, which I think is really great too. So you just add the peaches, simple, and it's really a tasty salad that has fruits in it that are just absolutely delicious, right? So put one there, put one here and tear that up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple here. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to put these aerials on top. And I love pomegranate. Don't you love pomegranate? Everybody loves pomegranate. And you can find these at the store already done. You don't have to do it like a lot of people have to do it. And then what you're going to do after you do all of that is you're going to add your goat cheese, which I have right here, and you're going to crunch it up, right? Like that. That's why I'm using gloves, because this way it's not so messy, right? And see how fast that was to make? And then what we're going to do is we're going to wash our hands off for a minute, and we're going to put the nuts on top. So hold on. I don't need the gloves for that, so I'm going to take that off and just spread the nuts on top. There we go. So all we have to do is, you can use any kind of nut really. Unfortunately, I have to open this up. I got it open. Don't worry. And then you just take your nuts and you do this all over the salad. And this is really a good salad. It's fresh. It's not too heavy. And you can use vinaigrette. They call for vinaigrette. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's how fast we did it. Pretty cool, huh? So we'll be right back after this. And we're going to do our cake real fast, and then we're going to serve everything to everyone. We'll be right back. We're back on our show, The Chef You and I, and this is the piece de resistance. This is the end of the show, which I'm really excited about. I want to say thank you to our sponsors. We want to thank everybody and say Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. But we're going to go over what we did. These are the meatloaf cupcakes. These are the meatloaf cupcakes with the wonderful, absolutely delicious mashed potatoes piped on the top with a little bit of parsley and cheese. And then you have the onion soup right there. It's a beef and mushroom with a little bit of onion, and wonderful. I added pasta to it. Absolutely Mr. Bill's wonderful spaghetti pasta. And then we have right here, we have a spring mix salad with peaches, fresh peaches, with pomegranate aerials, and we have goat cheese and walnuts. Easy to make, easy to do. And then we have a red devil cake for Valentine's Day, and it's in the shape of a Valentine. So we want to wish you all a very happy Valentine Day, and we hope you enjoy what we made for you on The Chef You and I. Don't forget to go to our website at thechefyouandi.com. We're on everything from YouTube, lots of different channels all over the country. And thank you for joining us today. Bon appetit.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.